What is going on, everyone? You know what night it is. You know what time it is. It is time for JBuck Live. JBuck Live every Tuesday at 8 o'clock Central Time. Woo, woo, woo. I'm fixing my mic quick, and then we will kick off right into the intro. Hopefully the internets are working okay. We have some people in the chat. Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. It is time for JBuck Live. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to JBuck Live. I'm trying to fix the camera. I'm trying to fix the background, the noise, all of that stuff. What is going on? We have quite a few people in the chat already. We have Ryan from What Were You Watching? We have Mainly Movie Seth, Jesse Munger, Jacob Anders. What is going on, everybody? Obviously, this is the weekly show, JBuck Live, covering nonsense, sketches, commercials, movie news, which, guess what? There's no movie news. So this is going to be a very laid-back, relaxed episode. Obviously, the sidebar with all of the crazy topics that we're going to be talking about. A few fun things I threw in there, a few last-minute movie news type items. But, before we get into that, what's been going on, everybody? What is going on? What have you guys been up to? What have you watched in this last week? For myself, I thought I did a lot last week, and I realized I only did 3 movie reviews or series reviews, and I kind of got down. But then again, it's like, you know what? Maybe I need to take a little bit of a break every now and then because I'm working on an ending explained poorly that, you know, obviously at the end of the show, I'll say what's coming this week. I've been working on that, and that's been taking a lot of time. But aside from that, I watched The Lovebirds. I watched, Control Z over on Netflix. I watched Batal, an Indian series over on Netflix as well. But I have been binging. My friend Seth, he's in the chat. He mentioned this podcast called Bad Friends, and it's Bobby Lee, who, you know, he kind of got famous for Mad TV, very great comic and everything like that. But then Andrew Santino, who I wasn't aware of. I know him from Dave, that show, that Little Dicky show on Hulu and FX. My God, like, I've been binging all of their episodes of this podcast. They've only done maybe 15 episodes so far. It's fairly new podcast, but if you're in any realm of comedy, very much jump over there and listen to that podcast. It's very vulgar. It's very, like, R-rated and very... It gets into some nitty-gritty stuff, but I absolutely love it. It's kind of my breakup of the day for sure. Yeah, what have you guys been going on? Blood Machines, Jacob Anders is saying Blood Machines. I'm assuming that's a video game, or is that a movie, Jacob? Because I know that you've been playing a lot of video games lately. How is that Man-Eater game? Because my brother just picked it up, and I've seen a bunch of people been playing that recently. So if you have gotten pretty far into that, let me know. Let me know how that game is, because I think that would be really fun to stream on the channel. Munger, I'm on vacation, just wanted to watch Suicide Squad last night. Yeah, we will be getting into the Suicide Squad news later on in the episode, but thank you for tuning in. Hopefully your vacation is going well. You're probably stuck in a staycation, to be honest. Yep, gotta highlight that Jill Buck art in the background. Yeah, right up there, right there. That painting was done by my sister. Very great artist. It's from the end of the Slam and Sam, and the same group of people that did like Super Troopers and Beer Fest. They did this other one where it's like them all being waiters and waitresses with Klingon something. He's like a boxer. It's a movie no one knows about, so I'm sure that it'll make the JBuck movie spotlight at some time. But I will show a close up of that sometime too, because it's pretty cool. Pretty cool painting for sure. And yes, that podcast, Bad Friends, is I don't know. It's what I'm listening to kind of like wind down at the end of the night. You know, I'm pouring myself a drink, obviously, and then I'll listen to that podcast. But a few other things that I've been kind of up to is last night I was kind of editing, photoshopping, working on a few other things, and I needed some essentially background noise or something to keep me distracted. And I jumped over to Twitch, and a good buddy, he's a friend of the channel, I've met him in real life, he is part of SEN Live, he has his own Twitch channel, YouTube channel, he reviews movies, but Ben Goddard, I went over to his channel, and he does this, I think it's weekly. He essentially does this marble racing, like it's Steam, marble racing on Steam. So if you're in the chat, you can join the marble racing. And the community over there was so nice because they gave me a free sub so I could jump into these races. And I ended up winning like $10 from just randomly jumping into these marble races. It was very fun, and it got me, you know, I was pouring more drinks and I was just like, come on, marble, come on. And it was like 40 of us in there, and it's obviously completely randomized. But that was kind of a fun thing I did over there. So if you are into marble racing, jump over there and give them a follow and keep up to date for marble racing for sure. But another thing, I've said it a couple weeks ago. A lot of people have been asking me. They're like, Jared, why don't you have a TikTok? Why don't you have a TikTok? Okay, I finally got TikTok. I still have no idea how the hell you essentially go viral on it. I think you have to be a very attractive young woman that's like, very much not wearing any clothes and do some kind of random stunt or dance or something that is very cliched. But I have TikTok, and that's where I'm throwing all of my random sketches and all of that crap over there for sure. I don't know. It's weird. It's funny. A lot of people have said I need to go over there because they see me on that platform, and I missed the whole Vine thing back in the day. So I'm like, maybe I can get on board with this one. I'm still like 2 or 3 years late because there's people that are just getting a crap ton of stuff, for sure. Crackdown with sharks. Okay, yeah, going back to that whole man-eater thing. The Blood Machines is a movie. Shudder. Okay, it's over on Shudder. This marble thing reminds me of Uncut Gems, available on Netflix now. Yes, exactly. Marble racing and betting, the two passions of my life right now. I'm a recovering gambling alcoholic, or rageaholic. I don't even know, some kind of alcoholic. But if you haven't seen Uncut Gems, yeah, jump over there and check that out. I know a bunch of people were talking about that for sure. Very, very stressful movie, that's for sure. I know that I watched it the first time in the theaters. I haven't even considered it. Maybe I'll throw it on this week since it's on Netflix. Maybe get some other people around to watch it with me so it's just not myself, just panicking the whole time, him trying to make the bets and everything. Yes, mainly movies. Who isn't super into marble racing? I mean, it's pretty much the only sport right now. It's that and maybe like someone racing their dog or something like that. Well, in one of your TikTok videos, you're not wearing any clothes. Yeah, that one. And the thing is, the one that I'm not wearing any clothes, Seth, that's the one that has the most views. So I think that might actually be the way that I need to go when I'm working this TikTok game and everything like that. Aside from that, TikTok, marble racing, and just listening to other podcasts, there really isn't much else going on that I've been up to this last week. The usual batch of podcasts I've been on. I have a podcast coming up this week. Mr. Dan Jensen is going to be this week's episode guest. We are going to record that on Friday, and then obviously it'll be up next week. But without further ado, there is some news. It's not too like, ooh, this is news. There's a few headlines and a few things that popped up this last few days. Since it was a holiday weekend, a lot of people were having it off, spending time with the family and stuff like that. So not much news, but there's a few quickies, and we can get into them right now. Yes, so we are in the quickies portion of the show. And if you're new to this show, this is the portion of the show where it's kind of news headlines, news items that I thought, were kind of noteworthy, but don't deserve the main topic or us getting too in-depth on them. Kind of just, hey, this is what's going on in the movie and TV world right now. And again, like I said, this is a slow news week. First up, we have Always Sunny in Philly. I'm a big fan of this show. I watched it, essentially religiously for the first 5 seasons, I want to say, then fell off and then kind of came back to it. They just got renewed for season 15, which is setting it up for actually the television record of having the longest running comedy, I believe. And kind of one funny thing that they pointed out, I mean, they've made fun of everything on that show. One funny thing that they mentioned in the article is that the gang of all the people at Patty's Pub, they are very much tackling the coronavirus in season 15 when it comes out or whatever. So I think that'll be fun. I'm happy for them because it's been going on for so long. I know a lot of people still watch it. It's pretty ridiculous, that's for sure. Next up, we have Edgar Wright, his last movie, highly anticipated one from a few people. I don't know too much about it, but The Last Night in Soho is actually being delayed from September of this year all the way to April 23rd of 2021, I believe. I think a lot of people are kind of looking forward to this. I think it's something about zombies and, having an outbreak and whatnot. Someone can probably fill me in for missing out or not knowing all of the details on this Last Night in Soho. But, coming from Edgar Wright, I'm very much looking forward to it. The only problem is, they kind of mentioned it in an article or two that I read, but this release date is right between Fast and Furious 9, F9, and then Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, another Marvel movie. I don't know if it'll bury it or it's counter-programming. You have these big blockbuster-type movies, and then I'm assuming this Last Night in Soho is going to be a smaller, kind of indie-type movie. Mainly Movies is looking forward to it. She loves Edgar Wright. Yeah, I like his style. It's very weird. It's very goofy. And from what I've heard of this movie, I'm curious. I'm curious about it. Honestly, I want a new movie. That's all I want right now. So that is unfortunately being delayed with all of the other delays that we've had over the last couple weeks or something like that. This is a weird story, and I don't know. I'm curious in the chat. Let me know how you kind of lean towards this one. So some good news. This YouTube channel and news show of focusing on only good news from John Krasinski. He's been doing it for the last 2 months, essentially during this quarantine, to essentially bring some positivity into this world. Well, he took the show and sold it to CBS All Access, and essentially they are then now taking over this show. They're going to continue the show, but more than likely John Krasinski is not going to be the host to this show. So this is my question. Do you think that he's completely selling out? Okay, he's selling out, but do you think that CBS All Access is going to kind of take care of it or completely just take the IP? They wanted the subscriber base, they wanted the good name, they all wanted that stuff, and then they're going to do their own thing and completely ruin it. I think it's a great thing because it's continuing on, but I think that a lot of people, YouTubers specifically, kind of said it too, that you put so much work and stuff into certain projects and they're potentially better. I'm not saying my stuff is far from what he was doing, but some people were saying that they're putting in more work and better quality than what he is, and they're not getting contracts. Again, it might be people butthurt and everything, but I just think it's almost kind of ironic because this guy starts up, jumps over to YouTube, a different sphere of entertainment essentially, makes something big, and then goes off and sells it off. So I think it's kind of interesting. Tyler in the chat is saying that CBS All Access, no one watches it, so it's kind of like dead on arrival over there. That's for sure. Can we get a new? Let's see here. What some of you guys in the chat are saying about that? Yeah, you guys are still kind of talking about the Edgar Wright stuff over there. Now I'm thinking he's making smart business moves and thinking about life after the pandemic. Yes, Mark, thank you for jumping into the chat, and hopefully you're doing well. And I think that, it's kind of a smart thing where it was, I think the reason it's such a thing is because of the pandemic. That's the only reason it's kind of a thing. And I don't know. I think once we get back to normal life again, it's going to be kind of just left by the wayside. What's Cody have to say? I don't think it has legs, works great on YouTube, but not a full show. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too, is like the way that it was kind of almost a homemade feel and bringing in clips from other people. That's what YouTube is kind of for. I don't think that big budget corporate TV yet is what people want, is kind of what people are going for that. This is actually new news now. And it just came out, and it seems like redonkulous, to be honest. So there's been news that there's this G.I. Joe Snake Eyes prequel movie, kind of like a G.I. Joe Origins type movie, in the works with Henry Golding as Snake Eyes. And they tweeted something out earlier today, just kind of clips of Snake Eyes from the previous two movies, and then their Twitter has a title that says Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins, and then it says in theaters October 23rd, 2020. So we haven't even gotten a trailer. We haven't even heard any news or first images or poster or anything for this movie that's apparently coming out in 5 months, maybe 4 months if we look at it, because it's the end of the month. I'm curious. I have no clue. I mean, Henry Golding I really like in the roles he does. I just rewatched Crazy Rich Asians, and I very much liked him in that. Snake Eyes, some of the G.I. Joe stuff I thought was cool. I didn't grow up with G.I. Joe and watching the cartoon, really, so I'm not really attached to the lore. But what do you guys think of this G.I. Joe Snake Eyes origin movie that apparently is coming out in 5 months? Are you looking forward to it? Is it going to move? Is it all just, I don't care, it's just another generic G.I. Joe movie? Let me know in the chat. What are some of you guys playing or talking about? Side with this business. Yeah, Jacob is saying, referring back to the Some Good News situation with John Krasinski and kind of, getting the money and whatnot, not going to be a long-term type thing. CBS All Access and Quibi are streaming services I just have no interest in, is what Tyler is saying. And then he is saying October 23rd is his birthday, so happy birthday. You get the gift of Snake Eyes on your birthday. If it comes out, I don't know. I don't know what is happening. I don't know. It's just weird that this Twitter account, which has kind of been silent, put up a new picture, put up a new banner, and put up a new release date in their profile today. I don't know. I don't know if people are looking forward to it. Hey, Skull Queen and Jennifer, what is going on? Very excited for you guys to join into the chat and talk about stuff in here. Yeah, I love Crazy Rich Asians as well. Yeah, very much. It was a fun watch again. Cody is saying, is G.I. Joe Origins really part of the title? I hate the sound of it, so if so, movie could be dope. Yeah, I know that you have a big thing about, title and then subtitle. If you jump over to the Twitter account, that's what it says is the Twitter account I don't think has the actual name, but the poster of it has Snake Eyes in big lettering, and then little tiny writing underneath it says G.I. Joe Origins. So I'm wondering if they're going to do a bunch of spin-off movies under that umbrella, essentially. Hopefully that's not the subtitle. The only reason I think that it would be is because people don't know who Snake Eyes are. The casual person probably has no idea who Snake Eyes are, or Snake Eyes is. Snake Eyes is. So that's Snake Eyes. I don't know. Let me know if you're excited for Snake Eyes. Netflix. Apparently people came out this last week and said that Back to the Future 2 is on Netflix, but it is censored. There's no nudity in the movie from what I remember, but apparently there's a magazine. Is it the official account? Let me double check, Seth. Hold, please. Yeah, it is the G.I. Joe movie official account. They changed their header to the Snake Eyes thing. If you jump over there and check it out, I believe that it's the official one, unless it's a Photoshop. But what I was going to say is Back to the Future, apparently it was censored, and no one knew why. Netflix was getting heat from it. The directors were getting mad because someone censored their film, and it's just one image. It's one image of a woman in lingerie. But apparently Universal, I think, is who has the rights, and the film or cut that they gave Netflix was this one that was censored. I'm curious how much more is cut out of it, and how many other films on the Netflix platform are essentially borderline censored. It seems weird. It seems weird for sure. Jurassic Park Dominion. More news about this, and it's not only being the end of a trilogy, but setting up another trilogy or more films in this Jurassic World series or franchise. I don't know about this. I think that people just need to, instead of trying to make, we're going to make 25,000 movies, just make one and then go from there. I know that you need to plan, you need to get people hyped, you need to get all of these people on board and try to make this, big epic scale story with all of these splintering other movies. But just finish this trilogy. I mean, Jurassic World, Haunted House, whatever the hell the second one is called, that one is very forgettable in my eyes. They're on the island for a little bit, and then they're trapped in a house the whole time. Just give me Dominion, let these dinosaurs be off in this post-apocalyptic world with the humans, and I am on board for this movie. But I just think that people need to, step back a little bit and let things just work out the way that they need to work out. Cody says, the Origins thing has never worked as a series, has it? Seems like every time they think they're launching a universe of origin stories, it tanks after 1 year. Yes. Anything, even going to the Dark Universe, the Dooku, with the Invisible Man, Dracula, all of that stuff, that kind of fell apart, but I think that it's coming together in a different limelight with Blumhouse, what he did with Invisible Man with that one. Mainly Movies says, I think we're all trilogied out. Yes, that is the perfect term for Jurassic Park films at this time. Absolutely agree. A lot of you guys are saying that you really liked Fallen Kingdom. Thank you, Mark. That's the second one. I wasn't remembering what the hell the second movie was called. But I don't know, Jurassic Park, I love big dumb dinosaurs ripping things apart and people freaking out. So if they give me that in this world, almost like a rundown Last of Us type world where it's been a few years and society has really broken down, I'm on board for that. And then apparently the last thing in news is Make Solo Happen 2. That hashtag was trending yesterday. It came out 2 years ago, I want to say Memorial Day weekend. Do you want to see a Solo 2? Do you want more from this Solo world? Personally, for myself, I would love to see that, oh God, what is the name of the Darth Maul and Kira group that they're in? I know someone in the chat is going to fill me in with it, but I would love to see a spinoff with Kira and Darth Maul in this weird group under underworld type business, going off and doing these other jobs. I don't exactly need to see another Solo movie, but I would love to see a spinoff from that, essentially, of those characters, because we know nothing of those characters. But yeah, make Solo 2 happen. I guess it was trending. Let me know if you're a big fan of Solo and you would like to see another Solo movie coming to the movie theaters. Or do you want to see more of the Disney Plus Star Wars stuff and whatnot? What are you guys saying? Dan is saying, it's time for the Jurassic Park Fast and Furious crossover. Yes, I think that when Jurassic Park gets to 10 movies and Fast and Furious gets to at least 10 movies, they gotta bring in the dinosaurs to be driving the cars, or they somehow find time travel and go back to the dinosaurs and they're drag racing T-Rexes or Velociraptors. I think that's the only way to go with those two different storylines, to be honest. Yeah, mainly saying I wouldn't mind a Solo 2. Okay, I know it sounds like, yeah, I'm getting a lot more Solo love or Solo I'm okay with it in the chat than rather hate for the movie. Yeah, I don't think I hated it. It had a lot of cool things that they set up. I would just love to see more of that world, more of just Star Wars adjacent, essentially. There's still the characters that we know of. They don't need to bring them in there, but a little bit off on the fringe, essentially. That is all of the quickies. So we're going to get out of the quickies section. Uh-oh. Hold on a sec. Come on. So yes, that was the Quickies portion of the show, all of the quick news stories. Before we get to the break, I'm going to read some of these comments because they're pretty funny. Cody has to say, forget Solo, give me Lando's quest where he has to sleep with every woman in 12 parsecs. Oh shit, that's pretty good. More Darth Maul for sure, dinosaur drag racing in space. Write that script right now. Harley Quinn and Joker movie. I really want that for sure. All right, guys, we are going to get into the first break, and then we will be right back. Can you guess the movie poster? It's 1985's Weird Science. Now it's time for JBuck Studios' TikTok of the Week.
We'll be in trouble if we don't take them down quick. I think it's a pretty good plan. We should be able to pull it off this time. What do you think, Abdul? Can you give me a number crunch real quick?
I'm coming up with 32.33, repeating, of course, percentage of survival.
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins!
God damn it, Leroy!
That was JBuck Studios' TikTok of the Week. Are you looking for a meaningful relationship? Hi, I'm Nathan.
I'm Kelly.
Hey, I'm Todd.
Hi, y'all. I'm Bobby Joe.
Right now, if you text DATE to 696969, Honest Match will give you 7 days free.
I like feet. Like, I really like feet. Do you know the show To Catch a Predator? I was on that. I can hardly see with these, so it's okay if you're ugly.
So what are you waiting for? Download Honest Match and start your journey today. All right, guys, we are back with JBuck Live. That was our first break, and we're going to kind of, maybe hurry around these next few topics and whatnot. But without further ado, it is the time that some people like, some people are not aware of, but it's time for trailer talk.
See you later, Annie, Mama, Bubba, Jim, Big Jim, Little Jim, Slim Jim, everybody. I'll see you later, Chow Ding.
All right, we are in the trailer talk portion of the show where we're going to talk about some of the new trailers that dropped on the YouTube, all that online, all that stuff from this last week. And we actually have 2 trailers. I think there was another one, but I was like, well, I'm not going to watch it. I think Love Victor was one of them. I didn't watch that one. Sorry, anyone that wanted me to talk about that. But we have one for Antebellum. And this is the second trailer for Antebellum. It came out a couple days ago. But it's a quick trailer. It's like a minute long. It kind of gives us more context of what's going on in this movie. And I have no clue. It looks like a bunch of creepy images. Someone somehow going from the present to the past to Civil War days. She is going to have to be a slave. I think Janelle Monáe is the lead woman in this movie. It's coming from the same producers of Get Out and Us. It looks creepy. It looks weird. I have no clue what's going on. Apparently, I'm looking up what I had gotten. It says, occurring or existing during a particular war, more than likely the American Civil War, successful author Veronica Henley finds herself wrapped up in a nightmarish reality and must find her way to break free. So I think it's this weird thing where she's working in present day. Somehow, something happens where she loses a contest, or somehow, I don't know. I honestly, it sounds like none of you guys in the chat have a damn clue what's going on in this movie. But from what it looks like, there's 2 different things. Somehow she gets caught up in some weird reality and has to go back to Civil War and find her way back, dealing with a bunch of weird religious aspects or time travel or something. Or there's this weird, messed up underground society that somehow sends people back. Like, they essentially have a lottery, and whoever gets pulled gets kidnapped and sent back to slave days, Civil War. It looks weird. It looks creepy. Again, this is a quick trailer with a lot of weird imagery. It definitely has those hints of Get Out, those hints of Us in this film. Yeah, Janelle Monáe. Yeah, I'm on board for it. But with it being like colonial times and stuff like that, it looks like such a weird movie. So I don't know entirely what to expect from this one. Let's see what you guys are saying. Tyler says, still having a damn clue what's going on in this movie. Yes, absolutely. Jennifer has to say, I don't even know that this exists. Yes, this was actually supposed to come out in April. But now the current release date is August 21st, 2020, which I have a bad feeling that it will probably be delayed again. And Dan has to say, it's one of those trailers that just gave me enough to make me feel intrigued. Yes, that's exactly what this trailer has in store for sure. So that's Antebellum, and then our other trailer, and don't worry, some people don't know if they want to watch this one, but we're talking about Tenet. So if you don't want to listen to or see anything from Tenet, I guess don't watch this. But Tenet, we got the second trailer for this movie coming out. Apparently, the trailer came out and said that there was going to be, it said it's coming to theaters. But I think earlier today or late last night, they added the release date of July 17th back to their Twitter and back to the end of this this trailer. So it seems weird that they would say coming soon to trailer or coming soon to theaters, then throw the date back on it. And also a funny thing is this trailer premiered during Fortnite, which I thought was very bizarre, very weird and whatnot. But no, this trailer looks absolutely bananas. And this is exactly like the Antebellum one. I haven't a damn clue what is happening in this movie. I mean, you have John David Washington, Robert Pattinson, Himesh Patel, I believe, Michael Caine, and Elizabeth Debicki. It's weird. It's like, are they stopping World War III? Is there two dueling timelines? Are they somehow crossing over from parallel universes? I don't know what's happening in this movie, and this is exactly what I want from this movie, because I want to be completely blown away. I haven't a damn clue. But this movie, there's one thing in the trailer about, are you shooting the bullet or catching the bullet? And that just kept me up at night. So I don't know how to perceive life anymore, because it's like, am I moving forward? Am I moving backward? What exactly is happening? But Tenet, it's going to move. I'm sorry, some people are still sticking on that date of it being released in July 17th, 2020, this summer, in a month and a half. I personally think it's going to be moved. It's going to be delayed. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Mainly movies is like, yes, Tenet, give me that Tenet. Tenet looks good. The time inversion in Tenet is messing with my mind. Yes, Tyler, that's exactly how I feel about this movie, where I have no idea how, not only did they film it, but how certain things are going to be moving, and where is it going to be two different timelines, and then we're going to somehow meet in the middle? I don't know. Cody has to say, this is one movie I would rush to the theater for to be released if today. I would rush to, but I unfortunately think that people are going to be safe and try to stay, hold this one off for sure. I wonder if we'll get another trailer released through Fortnite and other battle royales. Yeah, I think that Fortnite they are doing a release of, They're showing a Christopher Nolan movie. He hasn't announced which one, on Fortnite during the summer block, whatever event that they're running. So I don't know. Fortnite is getting all of these trailers and all of this weird stuff. So it's so weird. Don't know. Crazy stuff. But yeah, Tenet, very excited for it. Looks crazy. All of that stuff. All right, so that is enough of Tenet. Transition there and transition back. All right, there we go. All right, boom. Oh, crap, I got to get out of the trailer talk. Here we go.
See you later, Annie, Mama, Bubba, Jim, Big Jim, Little Jim, Slim Jim, everybody. I'll see you later, Chow Ding.
Man, that is some sick banjo right there for trailer talk. But yes, trailer talk. Every single week we have trailers. We're breaking out that banjo, and we are talking about trailers. But this brings us to kind of our main topic. There's two different things. Boom, Snyder Cut. Last week we talked about it. We were theorizing if it was going to happen, if it was going to be announced, because he had that Man of Steel watch-along the next day. or the next morning, Wednesday morning. And it's true. It's coming out. The Snyder Cut is apparently going to be a thing. It is currently not a thing, and it's coming to HBO Max 2021, I think May 2021. They haven't really announced what date exactly, I guess. So cool. Snyder Cut coming out. I'm not excited for it. I'm curious what it's going to be. But one thing that came out today is that who knows how long this movie is going to be. Is it going to be 3 hours? Is it going to be 3.5, 4 hours? How long is this Snyder Cut going to be? Because it is coming out. It is coming out for sure. But it came out today earlier that Warner Media chairman Bob Greenblatt, I believe, it was originally announced that they're going to need like $20 to $30 million to finish this, because there's a lot of visual effects, a lot of added shots that they need, but also a lot of the actors and actresses are not coming back to film. It came out today then, after they talked with this Bob dude from Warner Media, that they hope it only costs $30 million. This could cost way more than $30 million, could cost less. It just depends what they're going to put into this Snyder Cut. I think that it's a very odd situation because, you know, this first one, there was situations that happened. You know, Zack Snyder had to leave. I guess it wasn't his image. He had a bunch of other things, different villains and stuff built up. So he gets to come in and finish his vision that he had, and Warner Brothers is doing it. Personally, I think that it's a marketing stunt for HBO. But then again, you talk to the casual fan. I talked to a few friends the other day. They had no clue what the Snyder Cut was. But then this brings in the question of, where is a creator's vision cut off when corporations come in and supply money? It's this weird thing that we kind of talked about a little bit last week, and I think that it could be a slippery slope moving forward. And this brings up the fact that David Ayer, who was the director of an Oscar-winning Suicide Squad, came out and said that he now wants the Ayer cut for Suicide Squad, because what he did for that film was not what he wanted, wasn't the creative vision that he wanted. So this is the question, and this is the rumor. Is he going to then be able to do his cut of Suicide Squad? And then that is another marketing thing that they have for HBO Max, because he came out and said that there's a bunch of stuff that he wouldn't even need to refilm. He has all of the stuff essentially ready to go on his computer, a little bit of snip, a little bit of editing here or there, and the Suicide Squad Ayer cut is going to be ready. And I think this Snyder thing sets up a slippery slope for the DCEU, unless they want to go in and just say, yeah, the first movies we made were complete shit. Here, go fix this. We're going to call it a new cut. We're going to get people on HBO Max, and that's going to be that. But there's a bunch of stuff that he mentioned, and hold on a sec. There's a bunch of stuff he mentioned is easily, I guess, fixable, or I guess I wouldn't say fixable, but these are the things that he is saying that what are the main differences between the cut we got and the other cut that he is working on, or the different cut that he wants. The first Suicide Squad I thought had some cool things to it, but it does kind of come off as that, oh god, music video cutting. Like, honestly, like, the introduction of all of these characters are very like music video-esque, and they get all these stats, but it doesn't give you enough time to read them all. And I don't know if they were trying to have it, you know, be cool like that for like a rewatch, or like bringing in characters like that Rope Man, he's shooting his ropes and he dies instantly, and then I guess Joker was supposed to be in this film. It's just weird. I don't know what is going on with this film, but according to comic book, what is this? Comic book CBR, comicbookreader.com, I don't know. These are the things that David Ayer has claimed are the differences of his cut versus the theatrical cut, where again, it's this headbutting of, these are what we're doing, this is what the studio wants, and we somehow have to meet in the middle. So again, slippery slope. Who knows? Are we going to get the J.J. Abrams cut of Star Wars? Are we going to get the Rian Johnson cut of Star Wars? Are we going to get more cuts moving forward if these end up doing better? But the first thing that he claims that the Ayer cut has is more Jared Leto's Joker. And, I mean, it kind of makes sense because Jared Leto had all of those weird stories of him on set, sending all of that crazy stuff to get into character, but he was only in the movie for like 10 minutes. He wasn't in the movie for that long. But then, like, this image right here is one that they are, David Ayer had shared, where it's like a charred Joker. I'm assuming it's when his helicopter went down. Who knows how they're going to piece this in together, and the villains that are going to be in this film and whatnot. Can you please leave that shot of Margot Robbie? This one, Dan? You want that one? So more Jared Leto's Joker, which makes sense. Enchantress possessed Katana. So again, Katana in the trailers, she had quite a bit more. She almost had more screen time in the trailers than the actual movie. But he's saying here that Ayer also had a more satisfying vision of Katana, who was barely in the film, as I just said. She's a very deadly character. She's very, like, interesting because all of the people that she has killed are living inside of her sword, I believe. Enchantress somehow has to, Enchantress somehow possesses her, and they have to fight against her to get her brainwashing, the run-of-the-mill what you're going to get. And that's the thing, I think, with this problem of this movie, of what he is claiming. There's just too many characters in this film, and it's tough to even give them each a spotlight. So are you going to give Katana more of a spotlight over Diablo, or more to Margot Robbie, or more to Captain Boomerang? I don't know. This could be a thing where, moving forward, these movies get the 2.5 hour cut into theaters. Then when it comes out a year later, these movies then get a 3.5 hour cut because the director's like, no, this is what I really wanted. Because unfortunately, for a Suicide Squad or even a Justice League, I'm not going to go watch a 3 hour cut of it. Endgame was completely different because that was like 23 movies leading up to something. So I don't know. I'm going to see what you guys have in the chat have to say. Jesse M has to say, I like Katana's character. She was cool, but Harley is my favorite. Imagine if both the Snyder Cut and Ayer Cut end up being bad after all of this. Yes, Tyler, that's kind of what I'm thinking too, is like, who knows if these are going to be better, these are going to be worse. It's, the Snyder Cut may have some cooler things, but then some cooler things in the theatrical. I think that, honestly, they're just going to fall on the same platform of, they both have their pros, they both have their cons, or I could see why this version wasn't the one that they went for. An arc for June Moon sounds like a very 70s porn star-esque character, but June Moon is the Enchantress, obviously, and even in the trailers, it felt like we got more from this character, and in the movie, all we'd get is her just dancing like this, and then a bunch of CGI around her and on her. I don't know too much of the Suicide Squad lore, so I don't know how much of that character would even help or add or anything like that. Harley apparently is in a love triangle. There you go, Dan. Here's more of Harley Quinn for you. Apparently she's in a love triangle with Deadshot because he is very much kind of like schmoozing her throughout the movie, but she's also still dealing with Joker. So maybe that love triangle somehow could tie in with Birds of Prey and how she kind of acted in that film. Not sure. Seth has to say, the real question is, when are we going to get the Zucker cut of Scary Movie 3? Yeah, give me that Scary Movie 3 cut. So a love triangle as well. And the last thing, I think this is the last thing. Yeah, the last thing that Ayer claims being in the film is Apocalypse. Let's see here. He shared some concept art, kind of mentioned it, and this Apocalypse character, I think, deals with, the boom tube, the mother boxes, Doomsday, all of that stuff, Enchantress as well, and that would have easily or helped tie in with Justice League a little bit more. So who knows? Maybe this Ayer Cut and the Snyder Cut, somehow they're working together into making these somehow cohesive cuts and make it like an epic 7-hour long movie. I don't know, but I think that it's so goofy. I think Tyler just said it. I also feel like the Ayer cut kind of conflicts with James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. That is another point. That is exactly what I had written down. Thank you for saying that. It throws off everything, because if this comes out within the next year, like 2021, when James Gunn, his film comes out, it's going to completely flabbergast people. Unless it's just released on HBO Max and, you turn it on and you can watch the normal Suicide Squad, you can watch the Ayer cut, and then later, a year or two later, the James Gunn one comes out. But yeah, I think it's very confusing with all of the marketing, everything like that. I think it's ridiculous, and it's setting up, the Snyder Cut, I can maybe be a little lenient on giving him a little bit more into the creative vision because he had to leave. But David Ayer, I'm sorry, I don't know how the studio process works and everything, but like, you had your shot, you didn't go, like, they didn't go with it. Unfortunately, making a film isn't just based on you and your sole vision. It's editors, it's producers, it's actors, actresses, voiceover, visual effects, it's all of these people. So unfortunately, someone somewhere high up approved the cut that came out. So I think that the Snyder Cut is maybe setting up this weird thing moving forward where all of these directors, all of these visionary filmmakers come forward or come out of the woodwork, almost like a George Lucas approach, and just keep remaking the same film that they have just to perfect it. And I don't think you can perfect something. It's a work in process no matter what, and you just have to stop and send it out. So that's kind of what's going on with the Ayer cut of the film right now. He wants it. Maybe Warner Brothers is going to give it to him. I know that Snyder Cut is happening. Maybe they're going to see the success of the Snyder Cut and then let David Ayer, somehow tinker with the Suicide Squad one, even though he is claiming that there's no money that needs to be put into the Ayer cut for that one. So that's kind of my thoughts on it. I know that you guys were just blowing up the chat for sure. Just give us the New Mutants and not all of these cuts. Tyler, you are reading my mind. You are a treasure here. Yes, give us the New Mutants, and that's all we need. We don't need all of these different cuts of movies we've already seen. All right. That's enough. All right, guys. We are going to hit up break number 2, and then we'll get back to the end of the show. So break number 2 coming at you. Can you guess the movie quote?
It don't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning.
Let's hear it one more time.
It don't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning.
It's 2001's The Fast and the Furious.
You can win a totally toy-rific Toys R Us shopping spree, where the Power Rangers do the shopping with you. Keep watching JBuck Live to find out how you can win.
Have you been stuck inside, eating nothing but junk food, gaining that COVID-19? Well, today is the day to make a change. It's time to get sweaty with Steve.
Hey everyone, I'm Stevie Sparkles, creator of Sweating with Steve, and are you ready to get sweaty? 'Cause I am.
Sweating with Steve is the proven system to guarantee results with great exercises like the Yaaaayyy, the Rump Shaker, the Praise the Lord, and whatever that is.
Get it, people, get it. Really working up that sweat. Now it's time to ask yourself, are you ready to get sweaty?
Sweating with Steve, not guaranteed to show results. Please also follow our diet plans listed on sweatingwithsteve.biz. Don't go to sweatingwithsteve.com because that is an all-male adult website. Our lawyer said we needed to warn our customers ever since the incident. Get ready to get sweaty. Yay! Alright guys, we are back into JBuck Live, and before we go on, I saw a great comment here on Nolan Adair says, the Deadpool Christmas cut. That is a great example. I remember that coming out being like PG-13 and it only having like 1 or 2 different scenes. It felt very unnecessary, but somehow trying to get some money. So yeah, that Deadpool Christmas cut, I completely forgot about that. going on. So next on the agenda, and again, I thought we were going to be quick on time, but I had just kind of a question for you guys. So, came out today. Obviously, we're in this weird world where everything's closed, movie theaters are closed, we're scraping by on content to new movies to watch, not content, new movies to watch. So my local theater, the one that's very close by, came out today, and they said that they have a theater update. They are opening up this Friday. And they have a few different things that they're kind of precautions that they're doing for a slow rollout. They are not requiring you to wear masks, so you don't have to wear a mask to the movie theater, but all of the employees have to wear masks. There's less showtime, so then there's more cleaning between those showtimes. There's social distancing, and apparently the guy today said that he is excited to have new movies come in like Tenet and Mulan in July. But from now on, they are playing throwback movies. So there's two different questions I kind of want to ask you guys. One, if your movie theaters are opening this weekend, are you going out to the movie theaters? And two, what movies, either kind of ones that maybe came out last year or complete classics, like really old school ones, 90s ones, Jurassic Park, something like that. What are some movies that you would love for the movie theater to kind of play during this next month? To kind of just get that feel, almost that nostalgia of getting into a movie theater again. For myself, I had this weird feeling, like, you know how you like, it's almost like Christmas time and you're really excited? When I found out that the movie theater was opening, I was like really excited. Is this theater chain or a local theater? Seth, it is Fridley Theaters, that big, the one with the IMAX that I live close by. Fridley Theaters, unfortunately, I think that it's only in Iowa, a little bit into Nebraska, kind of smaller chain, but they are opening. And I'm kind of curious, like, what movies do you want to see in the movie theaters? Kind of like, retro ones, because I know that there's a bar close by that plays kind of throwback movies. Like they do this thing like Fan Fest. I don't know if you can see that. But Jurassic, like, they give you a cool little cup every time you see one. And I went to Jurassic Park. I went to Ghostbusters. I went to Big Trouble in Little Chinatown. I also went to Back to the Future. For myself, I would very much love to see kind of like some 90s movies. Like, no doubt about it, Matrix would be really cool to see on the big screen again. Kind of just some throwaway ones would be like Point Break. I don't know why I love that movie, for sure. But yeah, what movies? One, are you going out to the movie theaters? Are you going to be wearing masks? Are you doing all that stuff? But what movies would you want to see? I'm going to scroll back up to the chat and see what you guys are saying. Dorito Chip Gamer saying 2001. Yeah, 2001 A Space Odyssey would be cool. Halloween would be great. The Room would be a really fun one. Inception as well. Yeah, I think The Room would be really fun, but also those theaters or those showtimes, I believe, are for people, like, when you get a big group and they actually do, like, they throw the spoons out the screen, they throw footballs back and forth. I know that Seth, I think, has been to one, and I think Dan has as well seen a Room showing. That'd be crazy for sure. Mike Media has to say, Shark Boy and Lava Girl, Spy Kids 2, and Fred the movie. Oh, God. That sounds like you just got to get twisted on some alcohol or some other sports-enhancing drugs for the movie theater. Jacob has to say, they're either just opened here in Nashville and they're opening this weekend. Some at least, and no, I won't be going. Yeah, that's kind of the thing is I miss that feeling. I miss that nostalgia. But I don't know if I'm going to go out this weekend. I might wait a little bit. Again, they're saying that they're, cleaning everything and they're doing the whole social distancing. But the whole throwback movies is cool if they do it for a discounted price. Otherwise, I really hope that there's like a drive-in movie theater. I think that would be the next best thing for sure. I'd go for the right movie if they're playing some great classics, but I don't think I'm going until Tenet at least. Yeah, that does kind of make sense. Don't want to risk it. It makes sense. I know that there's a lot of people like this last week, bars and restaurants opened, and I had to go pick up something from a store, and every restaurant I drove by on Friday night was packed. Like there was people waiting outside to get in. I think it's foolish. But yeah, throwback movies I think would be really fun and whatnot, but it does kind of feel like it's going to be safe. So yeah, it kind of sounds like, yeah, you guys are all saying, oh wow, Jacob says, I saw the Rocky Horror Picture Show in the theaters. That was an experience. Oh, I could only imagine. Yeah, some of those old kind of classic blockbusters, nostalgia, like tentpole movies that every film cinephile needs to see would be cool in the movie theater. So I don't know, I was kind of just curious about that because I saw that, yeah, the governor came on this morning and had the guy from this movie theater, like the CEO, talking and kind of letting us know what movies were coming to the movie theaters and everything. So yeah, that is kind of what's going on. I don't think that it's, I don't know. I like bringing this stuff up, but everything is just, I don't know. Again, kind of like what Cody is saying, the right movie, all of that stuff for sure. But getting into the closing portions of the show, we got to get into the movie spotlight this week. And this might be one that no one has really probably ever seen. So, boom, movie spotlight. All right, so we are in the movie spotlight, and if you are not aware of what movie spotlight is, every week I like to pick a movie that I feel like everyone needs to see, a guilty pleasure for myself, or something completely weird under the radar type movie that is just like, wait, how did this happen? Where did this come to be? So, without further ado, the movie that we are talking about this week is a 2014 movie that has kind of a unique story around it, a little bit of a unique flair that I think that people need to check out. And if this is going to work, hold on a sec. There we go. So the movie this week that we are talking about is our RoboCop remake. And if you don't know what this movie is, it is bananas. Treat yourself to this movie. So back in 2014, when the RoboCop remake was actually coming out in theaters, a group of filmmakers came together. I think it was 50 filmmakers or a little bit over 50 came together to completely remake the original RoboCop. But the thing is, all of these different filmmakers were given one or two different scenes, and then they make it into one cohesive movie. So watching it from beginning to end, it is exactly the same RoboCop movie. It touches on all of the different things, but there's essentially homemade stuff, there's animated stuff, there's, let's see what I write down. Yeah, so there's Playmobil sections, there's animated sections, there's baby sections, there's interpretive dancing sections, there's a section done by like almost like paper, like the South Park animation, the Screen Junkies are in it, there's people that almost like made it in their basement, but yeah, they got together all of these different filmmakers, they were each given a handful of scenes, and completely remade this movie, and it is fucking bonkers. Like, this is, right now, you can watch it for free on the internet on Vimeo, I believe. I will warn you, it is very not safe for work. Like, do you remember the scene from the movie where RoboCop stops those two guys from sexually assaulting that woman? Take that scene and ramp it up about 9,000. Like, it is bonkers what that movie, what that scene alone does. And the thing is, I will say there's a handful of scenes that maybe get a little weird, like that scene that was just on the screen where the guy has his mouth like that. Like, they literally just put someone's mouth in there and mouth it back and forth. It's weird. It's weird. Definitely weird. I would recommend checking it out, and if you're going to check it out, watch it with a group of people, maybe have some drinks with you and maybe some other substances. But if you're a fan of RoboCop, this is almost like a love letter to this film. Very not safe for work, very fun, very goofy, very weird. Like that one scene, I don't know if you saw it, where it has like the music video little font where it says "Fly like an eagle." The scene where he's like, "Hey, Bobby, can you fly?" He throws him out of the truck, and literally that music video comes on. It's so weird. Weird. What are you guys saying? The Playmobil, the movie, best movie of 2019. It's like Homemade Movies RoboCop edition. Yeah, Jacob, that's exactly what it is. And it's so cool because, you have some people that are kind of note right now. Like Randall Park I think he was in one of those shots that just went up. But you have people that kind of take their strengths of, animation, puppets, just filmmaking in general, and they put their own vibe on it, their own twist, because it's like, hey, you're given this like 3 to 4 minute section, do whatever you want. It just has to start here and end here. So our RoboCop remake is a 2014, just a complete remake movie that the internet did somehow. It's on Vimeo right now. It's so weird and goofy and whatnot, but some of it is just wonderful, that the creativity that they put into those scenes. And I think they also did this with Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. I have not watched that one, so if anyone is out there and has seen that one, let me know. But yeah, our RoboCop remake is this week's JBuck Spotlight. It's so weird. So that was JBuck Spotlight for the week. Let me hit that sounder again. Our RoboCop remake. All right, guys, we are getting into the closing portions, and I'm going to read some comments quick, and one jumped out that I think is probably what we need to do. Honestly, Dan, that sounds like a fucking amazing idea. We YouTubers should pick a movie and remake it. I honestly think that would be so cool to do. Dan, I will talk to you this weekend, and we should really organize that, because that would be so cool to pick a movie and completely remake it and try to do that, because man, that would be so cool. But if you're curious about this movie, any fan of RoboCop, and just want to mix things up, go and watch this movie. It is weird, and if anything, watch Scene 27. 27 is the very not safe for work one, and the one where RoboCop is fighting off the people that are trying to sexually assault this woman. It is crazy what the filmmakers do on that scene. So Scene 27. Anyways, guys, that is episode 9 of JBuck Live. We got some great ideas in here. Mainly Movies does not want to remake Cats, so apparently that one is off the table. But this is your weekly show of sketches, fun stuff. I really didn't think that we'd have enough time to fill the full hour, but thank you guys in the chat. Thank you guys for hanging out, everything like that. Great stuff. I love doing this every single week. Coming up next week, I might do one of those bracket challenges again. But we might see what is the funniest comedy movie. So if you guys are on board for that, let me know in the chat. And if so, I will put out some polls and stuff to try to narrow it down to 16 different movies. And then next week, we will do that bracket challenge to try to vote on the best comedy movie, the funniest comedy movie out there. That's what we might do next week. I think that would be fun to get the chat involved and all of that stuff for sure. But for things coming on the channel, I might be doing some HBO Max stuff. I don't know if there's any new movies or anything coming to the platform. A new Ending Explained Poorly will drop tomorrow, if not Thursday, depending on how much time I have to edit. A few other reviews in there, Space Force, a different Netflix movie and stuff like that. I will be on the SoCo Show podcast again. My two friends in the chat, Seth and Cody. Fantastic podcast, the SoCo Show, SOCO. Go over there, give them a follow, listen to a handful of their episodes, because they are putting together a fantastic, high-produced podcast covering movie news, shenanigans, fun bits, reviews, and they've been doing it for like 3 years, so they have their shit on lock. So check out the SoCo Show, because I will be on that again, and I've been on it for the last like 6 weeks. And then this week, Dan Jensen here in the chat will be on Movies and Nonsense. I'm hanging out with him on Friday, and we are recording. So if there's any specific topics or anything you want us to talk about, let me know on Twitter, on YouTube, in the comments below this video, anything like that. Dan and I, we're always getting into all sorts of scrambles on the podcast. So yeah, Movies and Nonsense will be with him this week. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for hanging out in the chat. Thank you, Seth and Cody, for being the moderators and keeping the chat going. Mainly Movies, Jacob, Dorito, Mike, Dan, Skull Queen, Jennifer, all of you guys and gals in there. Thank you so much. And we will... Oh my gosh, I just blanked. Okay, JBuck Live, episode 9. We'll be back next week. Comedy bracket. Blah. Okay, outro.